Hey everyone, so today we're going to change out the BMW grille. I'm going to paint it a black gloss, and then we're going to reinstall it. So today I'll show you guys how to actually take off the BMW grille, and then show you the process of me painting it as well as prep, and then we'll go ahead and reinstall it. So first step, as you guys can see, you got to pop the hood. So make sure the hood is popped. Alright. Pull that lever. Alright, so now that the hood is popped, so what you want to do is you want to remove this weather stripping right here. So all it is that it just pulls right out like that. Alright, and you just set that aside. Alright, so you're going to use these torque screws. So let's see if we can get, there we go. So you got one right here, my bad. One right here, this is a little push pin. You got a torque screw. There we go, you got a torque screw right there. Got one right there. You got a couple along here. It's about 6 of them or so. It's going to be a T25s and T30s. And so what you're going to do is that you're going to unscrew these so that way you can pull this front bumper area forward right here, so you can reach your arm back behind there, because these grills have tabs. They're going to have 3 tabs, 3 on the bottom, 3 on top, and then 1 on the side, on each side right there. And so you have to go in from behind and pop those tabs up so that you can actually pull them out through the front. You can't just reach in there and pull them out. There's not enough room. And the way they designed it made it so it's pretty impossible. So we'll go ahead and do that. This is what it looks like right now, just the ugly stock chrome look. I really don't like it. So we're going to paint them gloss black. Hopefully it'll match the rest of the bumper pretty well. So we'll see. Alright, hey everybody, so hopefully you guys can see pretty well. I got a nice good side view so you can see the grill right here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this top part right here, and then we're going to pull this back a little bit. Don't worry, it's not going to break the grill or your front bumper. It's got some flex into it, but you're just going to pull it back enough that you can reach your hand in there from behind and pop the tab. So like I said, they're just a little tab, so it's going to go in like that, and there's like a little piece right there underneath, and you just got to lift it up, or if it's on the top case, push it down so it can pull away from the actual bumper. Okay, so these screws that you're going to be taking out, they got a built-in washer on them. So make sure you don't lose them. Try to get that zoomed in as best you can. So anyways, so there's going to be a couple of those. So go ahead and start taking all of them out. Of course, I dropped one, so luckily that was easy to get to. Alright, so all the screws are out. So now that we got those screws out, we got to take out these little push pin tabs. So these, you don't have to use a special tool, but if you have a pry tool like this one, it really helps. A little claw foot on that. So actually goes across it like that, and you just pull up, and they come right out. So that's what they look like. Pretty straightforward. Make sure you don't break those off. Got all of them out. Now here comes the fun part. So, gotta pull this back. So on the 5 Series, you have this little flap right here. It just tends to get in the way. So you just lift it up over it. Alright, so like I said, you just gotta pull it forward a little bit. You reach your hand in there. And you start popping those tabs. First couple are pretty hard to start, but once you get them, they all start coming out. Alright, so now that we got all these clips taken out from around it, it just pops right out in the front. So as you guys can see right here, so it's going to be these clips right here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this one actually has 2 on the edge piece right there. So now that it's out, go ahead and take out the other one. As you can see, the tabs are right in here. The bottom ones are especially tricky to get to, especially on the 5 Series, because you got this grill right here and it's not a whole lot of finger room, so you may have to use a pry tool to help you get that out, but it will come out. You just got to keep finagling with it. So we'll go ahead and do the other one. Be right back. So we got the second grill out. Thankfully we didn't break any tabs. Sometimes that happens if you're not gentle, but just be slow with it and just ease it out. Also, it's a good time to clean out the inside of your grill area. It's probably really dusty and there's probably a lot of bugs and stuff like that. So I'll go ahead and clean that out, and then we'll go over and start getting everything prepped and ready to paint. Alright, hey everyone, so we're back. So I already got the garage prepped for painting. So now we're going to go ahead and actually prep the actual grills, show you what I'm working with. Alright, so look right here. Alright, so these are the grills. I just got them on a box. Made sure that we put tarp down around it so I don't spray paint my floor. You get a lot of overspray with these. So we're going to paint the actual slats themselves as well as the rim on them, and make sure that we get that edge on there too. And then we have them elevated so that we can get a nice good horizontal spray on them as well without worry about it touching or sticking. Alright, so the paint that I'm going to be using is this Rust-Oleum 2X paint and primer. So you don't have to necessarily prime these grills just because they already been chromed and they already been painted on or anything like that. If it was just straight metal, then yes, you would prime them, but these you don't have to necessarily prime. So we're going to be using gloss black. And then I have over here some just regular gloss clear, the same brand as the other ones that we're going to do. Alright, so gloves first. Go ahead and scrub these. So the reason why I'm using actual paint this time is because last time on my other car, the 3 Series that I used to have, I used the black plasti dip, and it looked pretty good. It went on pretty easy. So application wise it was pretty good, but when I had it for a couple months and everything like that, with all the bugs and car washes and everything like that, it started to not look so good, started peeling and cracking. The sun from North Carolina where I was at started to really deteriorate it. You don't have to, but it helps to have this little paint spray gun holder, so it makes it feel like it's a real paint gun. Kind of sort of just latches on top, and you just line it up and make sure that's square, and then you're good. Alright, so we'll do a little test spray. Perfect. So that's good for the first coat. You just want to do a nice light coat over the whole thing. Make sure that you're pretty even with it, and that will actually help prevent it do the tiger striping or anything like that. Second coat. So we're gonna do our third and final coat with this, with the black, and then we'll do 3 coats of the clear. Alright, so now that the 3 coats of black have dried, we're going to go ahead and do the clear coat. So again, this is the clear coat that I'm using. We're getting ready to do the second coat of clear. I'm going to do another coat. We're going to paint and remove the strut bars on the BMW F10 535 series. So if you look over here, this is the bars that we're going to be removing. So it's the bar right here. It's going to be 2 bolts right here. They're both 16 millimeter. And then you have the other side right here, same thing, 16 millimeter. And then we have the cross struts in the front. So you have a mount right here on the top. And that is actually going to be a T40 Torx. And then we also have the mounts, so it goes at an angle. So you're going to have one right in here and one right on the other side as well. So you do not have to remove your bumper for this. You just have to remove the top part so you can pull the bumper away. Don't worry, you're not going to break it. You just got to bend it a little bit. So the main reason why you have to pull it away is so you can get to it. So for the Torx right here, they don't really have a good access point for it to get from the top part, but they do have an access hole right here, which you have to bend this away so you can stick the socket through here. They got a little hole that cubbies through, and then you can wrench that through. Same thing with the side ones down in here. You're just going to stick your socket with the extension on it. I have about 14-inch extension on it right now. It's going to go right through the crack in between your grill breather holes and then where the bumper's at. You're going to pull that back, and if you can see right in there is actually the socket is right in there. So give me that little Torx bit right there. Alright, and it's going to be the same thing on the other side, exactly a mirror image. So we're going to go ahead and remove those, and it should be pretty simple to remove. Alright, so like I said before, you're going to have your ratchet wrench and then 16 millimeter socket. And you're just going to bolt these. Alright, and it does come with a washer, so make sure you don't lose the washer in the engine bay or the bolt. So the front one is short, and the back one is going to be a lot longer. So make sure you notice the difference between those two when you're removing them. Okay, so now that those are removed, we'll go ahead and do this top part right here. Right, and so for that one, you're going to use your shorter extension on here, just long enough so it could go through this pass and you can get to it. And then, like I said before, it's a T40 Torx. So now it's a little bit easier to stick the extension through first. Get it lined up. There we go. And we'll set that one aside so it doesn't get mixed up. Alright, so now we got to do the side bolts, the one on each side down the lower corner. So this is going to need that longer extension because it has to go a longer area in the open, or down inside there. So right through there. Once it gets unthreaded most of the way, you can reach in there with your hand and do it the rest of the way so you don't lose an actual bolt. Alright, and then that's what it looks like, and it does have a really thin washer as well built into it. Alright, and we'll go ahead and do the other side. Alright, so now that those screws are removed, you can remove these and they just slide right up through here. Alright. And then get the other one, and it slides right up. Alrighty, so now we have these removed, the 4 pieces. We're going to go ahead and sand these, prep them, and then we're going to go paint them. Alright everybody, so now that we're back, we took everything in from the car into the garage. Got a little paint booth set up, so we're going to start painting. So first things you want to do is sand these down, and then you want to wipe them off with some degreaser or some rubbing alcohol, or in this case we've got some acetone to help clear any of that debris off there and the dust. You want to make sure that you're wearing gloves so you don't get paint all over your hands or anything like that. And we're also going to be using this Rust-Oleum custom premium paint. It's matte blue. Looks pretty nice. We'll zoom in on that a little bit. There we go. Alright, so we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be hitting it up with some that Rust-Oleum 2K gloss clear, which is what we used as well on the grills for the BMW. Also, we're going to be using this Rust-Oleum paint sprayer. You don't have to use it, but it helps quite a bit to get that really smooth flow when you're going back and forth, that good trigger squeeze. It also helps keep your fingers and hands clean because it's not all over the nozzle and everything like that if you're not wearing gloves. So that helps quite a bit. We're also going to be using 1000 grit sandpaper just to scuff these up. You don't want to go down to like the bare metal per se. These are already painted black. So you just want to scuff them up so that the paint actually has something to adhere to. In this case, we don't need to use a primer because it's already been painted on or anything like that. We're not taking it down to the bare metal. So now that those are all cleaned off, we're going to let them dry, make sure all that acetone is evaporated. Nothing's wet on there. You don't want to spray paint it when it's wet. In the meantime, forgot to mention when I was taking these off, one of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and paint these. I've seen a lot of people do videos where they do like the vinyl wrap around it with like the red or something like that. That does look good, and it is really cheap. It's about the same price as doing spray paint. The difference is that spray paint you'll actually get all the way around and it'll actually be seamless. Whereas with that vinyl, there might be a little gap in the back, you might have bubbles or wrinkles. It is a hard to see area, so when you have to look through the grill at the front of the engine in order to do it, or open up the hood and see that area. So you're not really going to see those imperfections as much, so it's just your preference. But I wanted to paint, or wanted to actually change the color of these so that they'd stand out and pop behind the grill. And I didn't really want to take that grill off again just because it is a little bit of an annoying process to do. It's not fun to do just because your hands and forearms get cut and stuff like that potentially, and it's just kind of annoying. So I don't want to have to do it a second time. So while I took them off to do the other video about how to paint the grills and remove them, decided to go ahead and do that. So go ahead and do that. These are all dry now. We're about to do the second coat. It's been third and final coat. Okay, so now that we let the blue coat dry, the third and final coat for that, now we're going to do the clear gloss. Alright, so we're going to do 3 coats of this, waiting about 20 minutes or so in between each coat, and let's get started. Alright, all done. So now we're just going to let it dry for 24 hours, and we'll come back and I'll finish up the video with installing them in there and also put the grill in. Alright, thank you.